Thanks, Jenna. As you can see, we've been joined by our race winner, Pato O'Ward, driver of the number 5 AMSP Chevy. And we've also been joined by President of Aero McLaren SP, Taylor Kiel. Gentlemen, congratulations. Pato, tell us how you're feeling. You're the first guy to win multiple races this season. And after finishing third yesterday, here you are, winner.
Yeah, today was pretty good. I knew I had a great car. I made a stupid mistake in qualifying, didn't transfer, started in the back. So I knew it was going to be tough. I knew I had to fight my way literally to the front because I remember after the last pit stop, Taylor was like, okay, this is the order. Everybody has one pit stop, everybody's reset. So it's like, well, we're staying here unless we have a yellow and I can ship it. So yellow came out, and that's where I have a lot of faith in myself whenever the car's wiggling around. I know I'm very strong in cold tires, so I took advantage of it, got by people, and got her done.
Taylor, obviously an emotional weekend for you this weekend with Felix's injury. Pato dedicated the race to him, said, "This is for you, buddy." Can you give us your perspective?
Yeah, I think that's really it. It says it all. Emotional. You know, when you see something like that happen to a race driver, it puts your stomach in your throat. So first of all, we're happy that Felix is okay, and he'll be back with us soon. Certainly, bringing home a victory was top of mind in trying to help Felix's recovery a little bit. But man, what a great effort from everybody. Certainly from the men and women on the 7 car to get that thing fixed and ready to compete today. But also the men and women on the 5 car to make it a race-winning car. We had a great car today. Pato did what he needed to do. The team did what they needed to do. And when you execute like that, we're tough to beat. So certainly lows and highs, but you know, we're ending on a high and excited to get to Road America in a week.
Have you had a chance to talk to Felix yet since you took the checkered flag?
No, I have not seen my phone, but I told Felix that this was for him before the race started.
Yeah, he's been texting me a lot. He said he's never seen 10 laps like that in his life. So he was certainly watching. He's super excited for the team and ready to get back.
Awesome. Okay, we'll start with questions from the media here in the room.
Yes, Pato, Michael Shelton from the Checkered Flag podcast. Pretty big weekend for Mexico sporting-wise. First, Brandon Moreno becomes the first Mexican-born UFC champion last night, and now this big win for you today. We all know your first win earlier this year was special, but what does it mean to you to win here in Detroit, in Chevrolet's backyard, and to dedicate this win to your teammate?
Yeah, I think, you know, first off, I'm really happy that I got it because I truly wanted to get it because yesterday there's very mixed emotions. Like, you know, we were on the podium, but everything was very focused on Felix being okay. And I consider Felix very close, and it's not a cool feeling to see that because it can happen to any of us, and it's not fun. So I was really pleased to hear that he was okay. Yeah, he left the hospital today. He's feeling better. He's sore, but yeah, I'm excited that I got this for the team, for him, and yeah.
How was that dip in the fountain?
Oh my God, water has never felt so good. Oh, it was like perfectly chill.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll continue with Jennifer or Tim May. All right, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to go ladies first, but Pato, a lot of people are wondering, how do you get your tires warmer than others, or how do you keep them so clean heading to a restart? And what was your secret today, at least for that last climactic restart?
Fast hands. Yeah.
What did your car feel like in those last few laps? I mean, you were going.
It was wiggly, but I felt like I still had life in the tire available. So I had to be very, like, I knew I only had one chance to get every single guy. I couldn't spend 3 chances on Dixon. It had to be one. So every time I would pull out or do something, I had to take the risk of pushing the braking zone or getting that mega exit to be able to get in front of them. but I feel like, I mean, I was very happy with how I executed it.
And several people I talked to said what stands out about you, at least that they've seen, is once you get there, like you were just talking about, you do strike. You don't necessarily delay. Where does that come from? That, for want of another term, aggression, whatever you want to call
The
it.
problem is whenever you let people step around over you, then it becomes a habit. You need to, I mean, people know that I'm not here to be fifth or sixth. They know I'm here to win. And I'm pretty sure that's the message that we portrayed today.
Great. Thanks, Tim. We'll go to Jennifer from the AP next.
Hi, apologies, I got questions for both of you guys. Pato, you're aggressive. You got 2 guys in 2 turns, I think 4 or 5 guys in 4 or 5 laps, and wheel to wheel with Joseph. I think you guys touched there, is that correct?
Yeah, he was moving me onto the marbles. He knew where to put me in order for me not to be able to get him, but I didn't move. So like we kind of both like went into each other, I guess, because the straightaway isn't really straight, but yeah, it was a good battle, I think. I think it makes it more exciting whenever there's like a little rub and rub.
Of course, yeah, we'll take that all day long. But I'm wondering, you know, how do you balance that? Like you're aggressive and you go for it, and you know, how do you not go over the line?
Yeah, I didn't forget the words that Taylor said. It's like, okay, this is the caution. Everybody's gonna stack up. Lap cars are gonna go, blah blah blah. If you have a chance, take it. But if you don't, keep the championship in mind. But in my head, the 2 guys that I'm fighting the championship with are in front of me, and I was not gonna be pleased if I ended behind them, especially if we had a restart and we were all together. So if I had the chance, I was gonna strike. I just had to make sure every strike wasn't like, am I gonna get it? No, it had to be boom, like definite. Once you're in the inside, it's yours. And yeah, I mean, I think they were very clean passes. I don't think I put anybody in jeopardy in ways of like, hey, I screwed your race or anything. I feel like I did it very clean. And I knew I was racing around very professional drivers, very clean, hard racers. Joseph, Colton, Palau, Dixon, Graham. I mean, guys that have been racing for many years. You know, some of us have been in IndyCar very little, but like these guys are pros. I was around people that you can get within less than of an inch and race.
Were you a Juan fan? You act like him. You drive a little bit like him. You've got the confidence of him.
I know Juan. I actually. I feel like we get along really well. Maybe that's something Taylor can catch on. But I was a little too young in Juan's time. I was a big Montoya fan when he was in IndyCar. After he was in Formula One, but I started really
After
watching.
NASCAR.
Yeah, so like I was really watching all the races until maybe I was like 7, 8 years old, when I really like somewhat understood kind of the Formula One and IndyCar racing. But Juan was in like Formula One and stuff in 2004, 2003, and then he was an IndyCar. He was an IndyCar champion the year I was born. So yeah. I don't think I remember much about back then.
And Zach said at Indy that you know how important it is for the team to win the IndyCar championship. You know, what is that? How has that message been conveyed to you?
They have given me an opportunity that many people would kill for, and I want to be the one that gives them their first championship. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say that. I mean, I have so much faith in this group of people. They have my back. I have theirs. You know, in a business like this, you consistently have to show that you are capable and still have it. And I feel like it's races like these where everyone, that little extra that you may put into something will always be given, because they know that you'll be out there giving it everything you have to give them, you know, what they deserve.
1 win got you a test. What's 2 wins get you?
I don't know. I know what a championship will get me, though.
What?
Maybe I share whenever I win the championship. Hopefully I win it. That's going to be the goal for sure.
So now everybody's got to wait. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll post the picture.
I've always wondered, do you guys do you change your fire suit before you come in, or you come in wet?
Oh, I'm wet.
Oh, nice, nice. Taylor, your turn. Obviously, lots going on this weekend. You know, to end on this high note, you know, how does that make the team feel?
Well, I think it's the right medicine for the issue that we had. Obviously, you know, Felix's crash is shocking. It's shocking to watch, and it makes everybody sick to their stomach. So to rebound like we did, it's huge, and it's a good boost in morale for the group. It's a boost in morale for Felix. You know, I think he's very excited for his teammate, and it's the least we could do to try to just bring this group back together and refocus after you know, an event like that just kind of shakes everybody.
And how did you guys get to Oliver? Was it because he was here and he was familiar with the team in the car?
Both, yeah. But Oliver's a good driver, you know, and I think that in a situation like that, it's not about evaluating or finding the next Pato O'Ward. It's about calming the waters, and I think Oliver was somebody we're familiar with. We knew he could just hop in and get on with it. We had his belts and his measurements and his seats, and he was here and all those things. So it just made a very difficult situation less difficult.
Everybody was here, I think, till 1, 2 in the morning?
Yeah, 2:30, I think the group left. Yeah.
So this kind of, everybody gets pep back in their step after, I suppose?
I hope so. I think probably by the time they get to Fort Wayne tonight on the way back to Indy, it'll be hopefully we've got some people that are good to drive tonight. But it's been a heck of a weekend.
And you know, what do you make of this? You guys have come so far in 2 years.
It's crazy. You know, you got to sit back and peek your head above water sometimes. You know, we're grinding so hard to try to be the best team in the paddock, and I think, you know, when you're working that hard and you're so focused on the goal, it's hard to see how far you've come. So it's moments like this where I try to allow myself to take a step back and look around and go, man, we're close. You know, we can compete every weekend, and when the chips are down and we're P6, we still got a shot to win. So it doesn't come without a lot of hard work and a lot of great support from our partners, but we're knocking on the door. I don't think we're there yet. We still got a long way to go, but we've got a shot, and that's all we can ask for.
And you're wet as well?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Thank you.
Before we continue with questions in the room, I'm going to take a few from the Zoom. We have several hands raised on the Zoom. We're going to start with McCoy Galvan.
Okay, mic on. ¿Qué tal, Patricio? ¿Cómo estás? Ya nos está gustando mucho esta tradición de vernos siempre después de las carreras. Pato, cuéntame, haciendo un resumen para México, Latinoamérica, que te escuchan, arrancar desde atrás, venir adelante, cuéntanos esta estrategia de 1-1 y finalmente el triunfo, echar a perder esta racha de ganadores individuales. Qué bueno.
Sí, bueno, realmente yo sabía que yo tenía que correr mi carrera, tenía que cuidar mis llantas, ser consistente, mantenerme ahí, pero yo sabía que para poder alcanzar y tener chance de ganar la carrera necesitaba una amarilla, porque no iba a alcanzar a los líderes. Es una serie demasiado competitiva que no vas a recortarle 20 segundos en un stint a alguien más, porque eso nomás no existe en IndyCar. Entonces, tan pronto salió la amarilla, dije, es nuestra chance, somos fuertes de neumáticos fríos, y pues hice los pases, uno por uno, pero sabía que cuando iba a tratar uno tenía que hacerlo, no era de que, no, como que vamos a ver si jala, no, tenía que ser definitivo, y así lo hicimos.
Te vimos muy agresivo hacia el final, los dos pilotos con los que peleabas el campeonato también estaban ahí.
Sí, claro, pues digo, iban enfrente de mí, con los que voy peleando, tenía yo un buen auto y tenía que tomar la oportunidad. Primero creo que fue Dixon, luego Rahal, llegué luego a Palau, pero pues ya que llegas a tercero, segundo y realmente no se te dan los de enfrente, pues tienes chance para ganar y pues no siempre te van a llegar las oportunidades para poder ganar y la quería ganar. Estoy seguro que ustedes podían ver eso.
Por último, Patricio, eres líder del campeonato por un punto, pero eso es suficiente.
Sí, somos líderes, todavía falta mucho, pero tenemos que seguir empujando.
Thank you, Kate. Gracias, Pato.
Gracias.
Thank you. I'm going to take two more from the Zoom. First, I'm going to go to Luis Ramirez from Motorsport Latam.
Thanks, Kate. Gracias, Pato. Oye, cuéntame un poco de lo que viene ahora con esta victoria. Estamos por ingresar a la segunda parte de la temporada y comentabas justamente en la conferencia de prensa de la semana pasada que lo importante para derrotar a Dixon era la consistencia. ¿Cómo trabajar para mantener este momento? ¿Y crees que ya solucionaron los problemas que tenías con los neumáticos y que vimos en las primeras carreras?
Este fin de semana anduvimos muy duros. Sí nos mejoramos, como hemos enseñado, nos llevamos una pole. Hoy calificamos muy mal porque yo hice un error, pero la terminamos ganando. El equipo se lo merece, han estado trabajando muy duro, todos queremos ganar este campeonato y tenemos que seguir empujando, tenemos que seguir mejorando porque todos los demás van a seguir mejorando y el que mejor tenga el resto de la temporada se va a ir con el campeonato.
Y Pato, mentalmente, ¿cómo cambias también tú con dos victorias? La primera siempre es como romper una barrera mental. Ahora con dos, ¿cómo trabaja un piloto? Y con la confianza que has tenido hoy, con estos últimos rebases en tan solo cinco vueltas.
Pues siento, entre más carreras ganas o entre más carreras estás en el podio, entiendes qué se requiere para poder ganar, qué se requiere en las arrancadas, qué se requiere en un stint. Tienes que ser paciente, no puedes nomás ir push, push, push para tratar de alcanzar a alguien que está a 20 segundos enfrente de ti. Cosas tienen que caer para que se te haga si vienes de atrás y hoy cayó la amarilla, nos dio una oportunidad y la tomamos. Realmente no cambia mucho, yo voy a llegar a todos los fines de semana igual, a tratar de sacarle el máximo provecho a lo que tenemos. Y si estamos constantemente dentro de los primeros 5 y dentro de los primeros 3, vamos a tener un muy buen campeonato.
Por último, Pato, ese campeonato en este momento, ¿cómo lo ves? ¿Se ve lejano o se ve muy cerrado con más allá de dos pilotos que tenemos en este momento la diferencia con Dixon y Palau?
Falta mucho, pero vamos en buen camino. Vamos en muy buen camino y le tenemos que seguir echando ganas.
Thanks, Kate. Thanks, Pato.
Gracias.
Thanks, Luis. I'm going to take one more from the Zoom and then come back to the room. Fernando Alonso from Motorlat.
I need to shower, it's getting itchy. You itchy,
Pato.
Taylor?
I'm not as bad as you.
Oh.
Pato, congratulations. Algo que estabas diciendo ahorita de cómo preparabas el rebase, ¿cómo se arma eso? ¿Es a través de las vueltas que estabas dando? Porque ya que vas tan en la línea como en el caso con New Garden, ¿cómo cuidas el no hacer un error?
Experiencia y he estado ya en esas posiciones donde he visto cómo caen las cosas, cómo se debe atacar cuando alguien más está batallando y la arrancada, la verdad que es la oportunidad para tener una mucho mejor carrera de donde estás, porque ya que todos empiezan a agarrar ritmo, es muy, muy, muy difícil.
Y en comparación del día de ayer donde saliste con el aire limpio enfrente, al día de hoy, al final donde de nuevo tuviste aire limpio al frente y te escapaste, ¿tú crees que hay una diferencia realmente por los neumáticos o era el momento mismo de la carrera?
No, pues vi a Joseph que traía las rojas y yo sé cómo son las rojas aquí y yo sabía que iba a empezar a batallar y dije, tan pronto lo veo de lado, le voy a aplicar el push to pass y me voy a aventar. Y es lo que hice.
Okay. Taylor, I just want to ask you, you have one good car, but you have a perfect tool now with Pato. Do you feel like you can apply that in the strategy work or is just faith on him?
Well, I think, we can only take strategy so far, and at a certain point, the driver takes over, and I think that's exactly what we saw today. We got ourselves as far as we could go with strategy, which was P6, and we got the yellow that we needed, and after that, it was all up to the driver. So it's a mix of both. It's certainly a team effort, no doubt.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll continue with questions here in the room.
Patricio, buena tarde. Te habla Ricardo Quimbay desde Colombia. Gracias por haber nombrado a Juan Pablo. Creo que tienen cosas en común en el sentido de que ambos saben aplicar muy bien esos neumáticos fríos. Tu padre decía, mientras celebrabas en el podio, me decía, es que Pato es un tigre con los neumáticos fríos. ¿cómo se aprovecha ese plus en una pista tan compleja como esta? Y segundo, para terminar, ¿qué tan importante es ese apoyo del público mexicano que hoy, sin duda, a rabiar, gritaba tu nombre y te da, como se dice, vivas?
No, pues primero que nada, al público, todas las banderas mexicanas, muchísimas gracias. Qué gusto me dio ver a todos contentos, celebrando. Les di algo para celebrar hoy en la noche. Y sí, con lo de los neumáticos fríos, realmente siento que es algo de que desde chico como que no he tenido yo mucho problema con el carro moviéndose. No sé qué más decir realmente, no sé qué es lo que me pudo haber ayudado. Me imagino que es el poder atacar mientras ir medio alocado. Pero sí, yo realmente siempre me ha gustado un carro medio suelto. Sí. Y si miras mis onboards, normalmente es diferente a algunos otros coches que están allá afuera.
Thank you. We'll continue with Steve Wittich from TSO.
Taylor, can you maybe explain how well Felix's car stood up to a really hard hit and just go over what the safety features did and how much he owes to Lara for building a car that's really tough?
Well, I think a lot of things, the car certainly did its job. Like I said earlier, you watch that replay on TV and it's like shocking. So you take into account, the speed and the angle of impact and those types of things. The tub held up extremely well. The aero screen did exactly what it needed to do. Certainly all of the safety equipment that Felix was wearing and the safety of the track. Obviously there was tires everywhere, but the walls held up, the tires held up. There was only minor repairs, so it really was a wonderful job by everything in and around that accident that kept him okay. And to see him, literally go to the hospital just to double check, that's kudos to anybody that's involved in and around safety in IndyCar.
Pato, 2 years ago at this track, at this race, your career was at a crossroads, right? You just signed with Red Bull, didn't know what your IndyCar career was going to be. Any time over the last 2 years that you've doubted where you're going to be?
For sure. My career has almost ended at least 4 or 5 times. So honestly, if everyone says, it's easy to make it, it hasn't been hard enough for you then, because it's such a tough business to make it. And when you do it, you have to continue proving yourself for the next 20 years if you want to have a long career. But yeah, obviously there's been very high and very low moments. But like I said, these guys gave me an opportunity, and I told them I will get you your wins and I will get you your results. So I hope my bosses are proud of me. But we've got a long way to go. I love the group of people that I work with, and I think they're some of the best in the business for sure. I'm very excited to see what we can accomplish in the next years.
This one's for Pato. Second win of your IndyCar career, and now second in just I think it's 5 races or so. I know you were so incredibly excited after that first one that you got in Texas. Can you describe a little bit about how this win feels different, like from a career or season perspective? I know it's not the first one, but maybe in some way it's even more validating the first one. I'm curious.
And I was always telling Taylor, man, at Texas we really had to work for it. It didn't just land on us. And I feel like today we fought for it even harder. And I feel like those races make them taste so sweet. Because we truly, worked together as a team to get it done. And when it's such a competitive series like IndyCar, man, I don't care what anybody says, there is nothing like this in the world. Nothing like this in the world. It's so competitive, it's, the cars are beasts. They're physical, they're fast, they're loud. They're just, they're hard to control. So I feel like that's what really makes the win feel like you just accomplished something really cool.
Kind of a similar but maybe different question for you, Taylor. From a team's perspective, what does a second win in a season do compared to just getting one in a year?
I think one is relieving, and two is validating. It shows you that what you're doing is sustainable, and that's something that's been in our narrative for a long time. Is we've been a flash in the pan team for a long time. We sneak out a win here or there, and we're happy to be there. It's not the case anymore. Our goal is to compete at the front all the time and win championships, and for us to do that, you have to win 3-4 races a season. And by the way, you also have to finish in the top 5 like all the time, right? So that's what we're aiming to do, and that's what we've proven that we can do. So that's the goal.
You mentioned a couple minutes ago that you still feel like there's a ways for this team to go. Is part of that, like, I know we've seen Felix, up and down the season before his crash on Saturday. Do you feel like a lot of what we've seen from him just comes down to continuing to onboard him with this team and get him to a level of comfort that Pato is with Aero McLaren SP?
Yeah, Pato's got a year head start, and I think that the car that we produce is very difficult to drive, but it's fast. And I think that we're working to make that better for both drivers, and there's no boundaries on that. Whatever Felix needs, he's going to get, and likewise with Pato. There's no, hey, here's the car that we've got, and it is what it is. So it's a continual process, and we're working towards it. I think if Felix was here, he'd tell you that the car's coming to him, and he feels better about where it is today than it was in, say, St. Pete. So we're never satisfied with results or how good the car is to drive or otherwise. It's nose down, and we'll continue to work to make it better.
And for both of you, my last question. I think this got brought up a little bit even in Texas when you guys won your first race of the year. For so many years, we've tossed around this term in IndyCar, the big three. I imagine for both of you, this might signal the end of us referring to that without you guys included. Thoughts?
That has been the plan. I don't think it's my place to say, though.
Well, I think being a part of the big three means that we're a part of the championship hunt, and we're regular contenders, and we're winning races. If it's the big three or the big 15 or the big one, it doesn't matter to me as long as we're doing that. And that's what we're doing now. And so if we want to call it whatever we want to, that's fine. But my goal is to be first at the end of the year.
Great. Thanks to you both.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nathan, and thanks to Taylor and Pato for joining us. There's quite a puddle up here, so we're going to let them go underneath you. There's a puddle.
Yeah, sorry, I'm very wet. Thanks.
Congratulations, and thanks
Cheers,
for
thank
joining
you.
us.